A mother, overwhelmed with confusion, keeps searching for answers to the strange events surrounding her baby. She had already witnessed unsettling things, like toys suddenly turning on even without batteries, and her little one staring and laughing at empty corners of the room as if playing with an invisible presence. At first, she tried to brush off her fear and convince herself it was just coincidence. But one morning, a recording from the baby monitor left her completely shaken. Pay close attention to the baby's diaper. It seemed as if an invisible force was tugging at the baby's diaper while he slept peacefully on the bed. After witnessing such a terrifying incident, the mother vowed her child would never sleep alone again, allowing him to rest only in her room for safety. Deep down, she desperately hoped that the frightening ordeal had truly come to an end. In 2015, investigators reopened a chilling case that had taken place at a home clinic in Japan, consisting of two separate buildings. The property was owned by a man named Matsu, who lived there with his daughter, Sayu, and a live-in worker named Hiyat. At first, everything seemed normal, until a tragic event in 1990 forced Matsu to shut down the clinic for good. It was later revealed that Sayoko and Hirato had developed a close relationship. She often visited his quarters, climbing a narrow staircase that many described as a deadly trap. One tragic night, Sayako lost her footing on the staircase and fell, dying instantly at the scene. Consumed by deep sorrow after the clinic's closure, Hayat could no longer bear the pain, and eventually took his own life inside his room. In a state of despair, Matsu sought help from an investigator named Marugu, explaining that Hiyat had been acting strangely before his death. Marugu believed that Sayoku's spirit had not yet found peace and might have left behind a curse haunting the house. Determined to uncover the truth, he set up several surveillance cameras and decided to spend the night in one of the upstairs rooms of the old clinic. Around 2:30 a.m., the atmosphere suddenly turned chaotic. At first, Marugu thought Matsu had come to check on him, but after searching every corner of the dark, silent building, he found no sign of anyone else inside. As he carefully walked through the silent hallway, one warning kept echoing in his mind, Matsu's words telling him never to enter the main house until the investigation was over. But curiosity got the better of him. Marugu finally crossed into the main building, and there, he discovered something truly horrifying. Perhaps that was why Matsu had been so strict about forbidding anyone from entering the house. After the incident, Marugu quickly left, compiled all of his findings, and sent them to Matsu, who still believed that his daughter's spirit was restless and searching for Hiat. Not long after, tragic news arrived. Matsu had passed away from heart failure. It was said that on his way to the hospital, he kept muttering a strange chant. Though time passed, Marugu could never truly erase the haunting image of what he saw that night. 8 years later, he learned that the house had changed owners, and the new residents gave him permission to return. But the moment he stepped inside, something felt different. The portraits within the house had been rearranged. As he carefully examined the row of portraits, his eyes fixed on 2 at the bottom, faces that unmistakably belonged to Sioku and Hirato. That night, his peace was once again disturbed by strange noises echoing throughout the house. Footsteps echoed up the staircase, followed by the slow creak of Hayat's door opening, just like it had all those years ago. Moments later, a thud came from the room where the portraits were displayed. With his heart pounding, Marugu rushed toward the sound, and what he saw next made his blood run cold. If those portraits were meant to honor the dead, then the question remains, who placed Matsu's own portrait there, right beside a doll? Since his death in 2015, the house had been abandoned, making it likely that Matsu himself prepared the portrait before he died. Hidden behind the frame was a chilling note that read, "I sacrificed myself for Tonsan-sama." Yet, there were no records or stories explaining who or what Tonsan-sama truly was. Marugu began to suspect that Matsu's actions might have been a desperate attempt to reunite the spirits of Sayoku and Hirato in the afterlife. In Japanese tradition, ghost marriage rituals often use dolls to represent the deceased. Although events in the house, like doors swinging open on their own or objects falling, could be explained logically, the ritual's sorrowful and spiritual nature made everything feel far too real to be mere coincidence. But the most terrifying part came a few months later, when something even more disturbing occurred. It's hard to say whether it was all just coincidence, but the timing felt strangely unsettling. On someone's advice, Marugu decided to consult a psychic. The medium firmly warned him never to return to that place, claiming the building was burdened with a deadly curse. From that moment on, Marugu only went back once more, just to finish something he had left undone. So, what do you think? Was this merely a sorrowful story of love ending in tragedy? Or do restless spirits still wander through the long-abandoned clinic to this very day? Two friends were relaxing at one of their homes when the atmosphere suddenly changed. One of them got chills after feeling a cold breeze sweep through the room, while the other quickly pulled out their phone and started recording, just in case something unusual was about to happen.
Did you just experience something?
Bro, I swear to God, dude, I felt something really cold.
Really? What?
Dude, what the f***? Oh my God.
Oh my God. What the f***? Oh shit. Dude, I kid you not, there's like literally nobody in there. What the f***, dude?
The next few seconds turned into a moment of utter chaos that defied all logic. One by one, strange events were captured on camera, from small, inexplicable movements to the shocking climax when two objects suddenly floated and were thrown off the kitchen counter with no one nearby. There was no rational explanation for what had just happened. When the homeowner replayed the footage, a chill ran down their spine. This wasn't just a creaky floor or a passing breeze. There was something inside that house, something determined to prove its existence. And that night, it succeeded. This footage was recorded by a man named Paul, the kind of person who never believed in anything supernatural like ghosts, spirits, or the paranormal. Whenever the topic came up, he would just laugh it off, convinced it was all nonsense. But what happened inside his own home would change his mind forever. While fixing a few things around the house at his wife's request, the atmosphere suddenly shifted. The air grew heavy, cold, and filled with an unsettling energy he couldn't explain. Guided by a strange instinct, Paul pulled out his phone and started recording, unaware that he was about to capture undeniable proof of something beyond logic.
El televisor solo.
De una expertos exteriores de sí, que finalmente redunda en la gestión y administración del servicio.
At first, nothing seemed unusual, until the television suddenly turned on by itself, even though no one had touched it. But that was only the beginning of something far more terrifying. Moments later, the bell tower rang out loudly, as if struck by an invisible hand, even though the room was completely empty. Soon after, objects began to fly, bottles shot across the room, and something even hit Paul's feet just before the recording ended. For someone who had always laughed at stories about ghosts and spirits, this series of horrifying events was a rude awakening. From that night on, Paul's skepticism crumbled. The certainty he once held was replaced by a chilling fear, the realization that perhaps his home truly was inhabited by something not of this world. In this footage, a woman can be seen performing a spiritual cleansing ritual in an attempt to drive away the dark energy believed to be haunting their home. For months, the Cruz family had been living in constant fear, tormented by paranormal disturbances that only grew more intense over time. Convinced that burning sage and smudging every corner of the house was their last hope for peace, she bravely went through with the ritual. But instead of bringing calm, the ceremony unleashed something far darker and more terrifying than they ever imagined.
Dude, what the f***? You hate it here! Oh my god, leave us the f*** alone! F*** you!
As she stepped into the dining room, an object suddenly fell from the table for no apparent reason. Moments later, a small folding table in the corner collapsed on its own, as if something unseen had brushed against it. Shortly after that, a plate in the TV room slipped off its stand and shattered on the floor. These strange events only heightened the tension in the house, driving the family deeper into fear and despair. That very night, they realized they couldn't endure it any longer. With heavy hearts, the Cruz family decided to sell the house and leave for good. Since then, they have completely disappeared from the public eye, leaving their followers wondering what truly happened to them after abandoning the home that many believe to be haunted. A TikTok user named Carrie recently shared a video that left viewers deeply unsettled. Her connection with the paranormal goes way back, all the way to 2007, when she was just 10 years old. As a child, Carrie often claimed to see dark shadowy figures standing silently in her bedroom at night. And it seems that whatever those entities were, they never truly left her. Not long ago, Carrie and her boyfriend were relaxing while watching horror videos on YouTube, but their peaceful evening quickly turned eerie when Carrie noticed the curtain beside her boyfriend move on its own, as if touched by something invisible. Acting on instinct, she grabbed her phone and started recording, unaware that the next few seconds would capture something truly terrifying.
Oh, Jesus, hell! That was... What is it doing? What is it doing? What in the f***?
As the camera focused on the curtain, faint shadows resembling fingerprints slowly pressed against the fabric. Her skeptical boyfriend laughed it off, insisting it must have been the fan. But the subtle movements looked far too real, as if invisible hands were trying to reach through from the other side. Many believe that fear only fuels the lingering supernatural energy around us. So, if this terrifying phenomenon happens again, Carrie may need to gather her courage and face it head-on, because whatever is haunting that place doesn't seem ready to leave anytime soon. This video was uploaded by the channel The Alaskans, and it seems that an unusual experience prompted the man in the recording to quickly pull out his phone and start filming. He claimed that for several nights in a row, he had been hearing strange noises echoing through the halls, along with faint shadowy figures flickering at the edge of his vision. The building itself looked old and worn down, and judging by the surroundings, it appeared to be his workplace.
So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been working in the studio, and the last couple of nights I've been hearing really creepy sounds. I've been hearing footsteps and like seeing things out of the corner of my eye. Now this is a really big old building, and so that's got me a little bit freaked out. But the top of it was just a few minutes ago, I was going to the bathroom and I was standing in the stall, and I swear someone grabbed the back of my shoulder while I was standing there, and I freaked out. So if something happens, I want to have it on video.
Instinctively, the first thing he did was scan the area to make sure there was no one else around but him.
I think that was open.
Once he was certain that no one else was around, he slowly made his way toward the row of restroom stalls, moving cautiously with the intention of capturing any signs that something might still be haunting the place.
Pictures scared the hell out of me. So this is where I was. I was standing right there. The lights are up in the bathrooms, of course. Hello? Hello? Shit. All right, I think I'm done. I think I've had about enough for today.
Out of nowhere, a horrifying face appeared, staring straight into the camera. Its eyes glowed with an eerie, unnatural light, leading many to believe it wasn't human at all, but something from another realm. Still, one question lingers. Was it simply a coworker playing a prank in the middle of the night, or did he actually capture undeniable proof of a real encounter with something from beyond the grave? One quiet night, a security guard was making his rounds in a section of an old hospital that had long been closed for renovations. He was certain he was the only person in the area, as the eerie silence seemed to swallow every step he took. But then, out of the corner of his eye, he caught a faint movement within the shadows, a subtle shift in the dim corridor that he almost didn't notice. A dark figure suddenly darted down the hallway at an incredible speed before disappearing behind a nearby wall, far too fast to be human. Some believe the shadow belonged to the spirit of a former patient who never truly left the hospital. Several witnesses even swore they saw it without a head, strengthening the eerie suspicion that this was no coincidence but solid proof of something supernatural. Could it be the lost soul still wandering those abandoned halls? A TikTok creator named Fernand Fogg is known for sharing short travel videos that capture the beauty of nature, from calm lake surfaces and sunlit beaches to her close encounters with wildlife. However, during one of her trips to a breathtaking waterfall, she accidentally filmed something unusual and unsettling. When reviewing the footage later, she noticed a strange figure seemingly standing still, right beneath the powerful stream of water crashing against the rocks. Beneath the powerful cascade of the waterfall, a faint, human-like shadow could be seen right where the water crashed down. No one was physically standing there, yet the silhouette lingered, subtly moving, as if an unseen presence was being struck by the rushing water. According to the TikTok creator, she was completely alone when she captured the footage. So, what exactly did her camera record? Could it have been a spirit? Or perhaps an invisible entity beyond explanation? Whatever it was, something undeniably mysterious seemed to be hiding behind the roar of the waterfall that day. This chilling footage was captured by an urban explorer and paranormal investigator named Leo, who decided to check out a shop rumored to be haunted. He wasn't alone. A friend joined him, and together they streamed the entire adventure live on Leo's account. The shop itself was tightly sealed and surrounded by fencing, making it impossible for them to get inside, a frustrating setback for any urban explorer. But as they continued to film around the property, something strange and completely unexpected suddenly appeared on Leo's live stream. When they reviewed the footage, they noticed a pale, ghost-like face peeking out from one of the building's windows. The sight instantly sent chills down their spines. The shop had long been abandoned and sealed off, with no one allowed to enter, leading them to believe that the figure might be one of the lingering spirits said to haunt the place. Just the thought of an unseen entity silently watching them from the darkness was enough to turn the experience into a nightmare they would never forget.